Let's begin in a child's pose, resting your forehead on the ground, keeping your knees as close together or as wide apart as you'd like, letting your arms stretch out long, and letting all of your body relax into this pose, beginning to connect with your breath, noticing the air coming in through your nose, and then noticing the air as it goes back out. Really finding a comfortable position here. And on your next inhale, slowly come up to sit on your knees. Spine reaches long. Shoulders are back and away from your ears. An option to stay here or come into hero's pose. Scoot your legs out a little bit wider so that your hips can sit in between your legs. Take a breath in here. An option to stay here or exhale and begin to slowly lower back, coming to maybe your forearms or lying all the way down on the ground. Hands can rest wherever they're comfortable. Maybe on the ground, maybe on your stomach. And on your next inhale, making your way back up if you're on the ground. And slowly make your way back up to your knees, sitting on your knees. And from here we'll find a toe stretch. So coming to be up on your toes, resting on your heels. Leaning into your toes to find a nice stretch along the toes and the back of the foot. Taking breaks if this is really uncomfortable for you. Otherwise, leaning into those toes, keeping the spine long. And on your next inhale, come and find table. Hands directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips, abs engaged, belly's not dropping. And we'll take a few rounds of cat-cow. So inhaling to drop the stomach, open the chest, lift the chin, and exhale around the spine, drop the head. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest, lift the chin, and exhale round the spine, drop the head. Keep moving like this at your own breath. And after your next exhale, come and find a neutral spine. Take a breath in. And exhale, find puppy pose. Walking your hands out long, keeping your hips lifted, and lowering your chest towards the ground, resting your forehead or your chin on the ground. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, finding a nice stretch in the arms. Inhale, coming back through table. And exhale, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Taking time in this first down dog to pedal out the feet. Wag the hips side to side. Whatever movements feel good here as we wake up the calves. but squeezing through the shoulder blades, lifting up through the hips, and letting the heels sink down towards the mat. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze towards the top of your mat, and exhale, walk to the top, forward fold. Let's hang here in this forward fold. Let those hamstrings and calves begin to warm up here. Let your head hang loose. Maybe nod your head yes, shake your head no. Lifting your hips a little bit further towards the sky, but bending your knees as generously as you'd like. And on your next inhale, roll up to Tadasana or come up with a flat, straight back. Meeting me in mountain pose. Rooting down through your feet, tilting the tailbone down, lifting up with the chest, letting the shoulders relax down your back, and lifting up through the very top of your head, hands by your sides. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, reaching long, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale into downward facing dog, planting the hands, shifting the hips backwards. Inhale the right leg up and back, and exhale, low lunge, stepping the foot forward in between your hands, taking a moment to square your hips, pulling the right hip back and the left hip forward, finding lift through that back knee and through the back heel. Gaze is forward, chest is open. And on an inhale, come up into Warrior Two, spiraling the back foot down, lifting up through the chest. Arms are extended long, reaching through both fingertips. Gaze is out over the front fingertips, but your chest is facing to the side. Inhale here, and exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot, low lunge. Inhale, step back to plank, and exhale, take your vinyasa, lowering down through chaturanga. Inhaling into upward facing dog, flipping the back feet, opening the chest, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up and back, and exhale, step it forward between your hands, low lunge. Taking time to pull the left hip back and the right hip forward, lifting up through the back knee, up through the back heel. Gaze is forward, lifting up through the chest. And then inhale and come into Warrior Two, spiraling the back foot down and then spiraling up with the arms. Lifting up through the chest and the head, reaching through both fingertips. Gaze is out over the front, and your chest is facing to the side. Inhale here, and then exhale, cartwheel the hands down, low lunge. Inhale, step back to plank, and exhale, take your vinyasa, exhaling through chaturanga, inhaling, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up and back, and exhale, step it forward between your foot, low lunge. Inhale up into Warrior Two, spiraling the back foot down first, and then coming up with your chest, reaching long through the fingertips. And then inhaling to reach forward, and exhale, flip the palm, find Peaceful Warrior. Back hand comes down to the back leg, finding space in your lower back, in your chest, lifting up out of it, not dumping into it. Keeping your ear by your bicep and reaching long through your fingertips. Inhale, come back into Warrior Two, and exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your front foot, low lunge. Inhale, step back to plank, and exhale, take your vinyasa, meeting me in downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up and back, and exhale the leg forward in between your hands, low lunge. Inhale, coming up into Warrior Two, back heel spirals downwards. Reaching through both fingertips here. And then inhale to reach forward, flip the front palm, and exhale into Peaceful Warrior. Back hand comes to meet the back leg, bending backwards. Reaching through your fingertips, keeping your ear by your bicep to keep the neck safe. Don't forget about the bend in your front knee. Bend it a little bit deeper. And then inhale back through Warrior Two, and exhale to cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot, low lunge. Inhale, step back to plank, and exhale, take your vinyasa, meeting me in downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up and back, and exhale, step the foot forward between your hands, low lunge. Inhale up into Warrior Two, spiraling the back heel down, and spiraling the arms up, reaching through both fingertips. Inhale to reach forward, flip the front palm, and exhale, move back into Peaceful Warrior. Reaching long through that upper arm. And then exhale into extended side angle. Resting your right forearm on your right knee and sweeping the left arm long overhead. Opening through the chest, reaching through the fingertips, and then reaching down through the back heel at the same time. Breathe in here and let it all out. Inhale back up into Warrior Two. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot, low lunge. Inhale, step back to plank, engage the abs. And exhale, take your vinyasa, moving through chaturanga. Opening up into upward facing dog. And then coming into downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up and back. And exhale, step it forward between your hands, low lunge. Inhale up into Warrior Two, spiraling the back heel down, reaching through both fingertips, chest is facing the side. Then inhale to reach forward, flip the front palm, and exhale into Peaceful Warrior. Back hand comes down the back leg, opening through the chest, lifting up through the back, reaching that left hand long. And then exhale into extended side angle. Left forearm comes to rest on your left thigh. Right arm sweeps up overhead, reaching long through the right fingertips and reaching down through the right heel at the same time. Inhale back up through Warrior Two, and then exhale, cartwheel your arms down to frame the front foot, low lunge. Inhale, step back to plank, and exhale, take your vinyasa. Inhale here in downward facing dog. And then exhale, drop the knees, find child's pose. Once again, letting your forehead rest on the mat, reaching the arms out long in front of you, or maybe letting them rest by your sides. Keeping the knees as close together or as wide apart as you'd like. And letting yourself breathe. Take a deep breath in child's pose. And then exhale and make your way onto your stomach, lying flat on the ground, arms by your sides. And we'll find Sphinx pose next. So coming onto your forearms with your elbows just underneath your shoulders. Inhale to open up the chest, keeping the forearms on the ground. Taking nice deep breaths here, finding this gentle back bend. And then exhale and lower yourself back down to the mat. Next we'll find locust pose. So inhale to come into locust, lifting up the chest and the head and the legs, reaching the arms long behind you, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Remembering to breathe through this pose. Seeing if you can find a little bit more lift and length in those back feet. And then exhale and slowly lower everything back down to the mat. Taking a deep breath in and letting it out. Make your way onto your back, rolling over. And bring the soles of your feet flat on the mat, bending the knees. And we'll find bridge. So inhale to lift up through the hips, planting your feet on the ground, engaging the abs, gently squeezing the glutes. Breathing here. And then exhaling and slowly lowering your hips back down to the ground. Inhale, find bridge again, lifting up through the hips. Keeping the thighs in a nice straight line. Planting down through your feet. Lifting up in those hips, engaging the abs. See if you can lift your hips just a little bit higher. And then exhale, lower your hips back down to the ground real slow. And then option to come into bridge again or come into wheel. So inhale, coming into bridge or coming into wheel. If in wheel, pressing your hands down by your ears, pressing down through the arms and the legs to lift you up into wheel. Remembering to breathe in whatever pose you're in. Finding space in the back, planting down through the feet. And then exhale and slowly lowering yourself back down to the ground. Taking your time. And letting everything relax. Reclined pigeon. Inhale to bend both knees and cross your right ankle over your right thigh close to the knee. Reach through your left leg, grabbing onto your left thigh, and pull that leg closer towards you. Flexing through both feet, pushing away with the right knee, pulling the left leg closer. And exhale, release the pose. Inhale, moving to the other side. Bending both knees, left ankle crosses at the right knee. Reaching through the right leg to grab the right thigh. Pulling that right leg closer towards you while pushing away with the left knee. Breathing into that hip. And then exhaling, releasing the pose. Letting both feet come back down to the mat. Inhale both knees into your chest. And then exhale the left leg down to the ground, letting that leg stretch out long, keeping the right knee into the chest. And we'll find a supine twist, dropping the right knee over the left, dropping it over the left side, reaching the right arm out long. Gaze over your right fingertips. Enjoying the stretch in the back. Inhale, coming back through center, bringing both knees into the chest. And then exhale, extend the right leg out long, letting that leg lie on the mat. Breathing in here. And exhale, drop the left knee over to the right side, reaching the left arm out long, gaze over the left fingertips. And relaxing into this pose. Inhale, coming back through center, bringing both knees into the chest, giving those knees a nice big hug, squeezing all the muscles in your body. And then exhale and release everything down to the mat for Shavasana. Letting the arms and the legs spread as wide as you'd like, take up all the space you want. Letting all the muscles relax, snuggling your shoulder blades underneath you. Releasing any tension. And let go of your breath as we lay here. Taking a nice deep breath in and letting it all out. Beginning to come back into the space around you. Noticing your breathing again. Bringing gentle movements into your fingers and toes. And then rolling over onto one side, using your arm as a pillow. And then keeping your eyes closed, if that's comfortable, as you push yourself up into a seated position. Taking a deep breath in and letting it out. Taking another deep breath in and exhaling it all out. And then bringing your hands in prayer at the center of your chest and bowing your head towards your hands. Thank yourself for coming to the mat today. And I thank you for joining me in practice today. Namaste.